Lamar Jackson is expected to win the NFL MVP this year, but should he? I'm going to present 3 cases as to why he should, and 3 as to why he shouldn't, and then at the end, I'll give my opinion. Here we go. First case for Lamar winning MVP is his team's success. The Baltimore Ravens had the best record in the NFL this year. They went 13-3 in the games that Lamar started, 13-4 on the season, but he sat the last week. And so having that team success as the quarterback, that looks really impressive on his resume. Very simple. You played well, your team played really well, you must have been pretty valuable. On the flip side of that, you could make the case that his team was too good. The Ravens' defense allowed the least points per game in the NFL. That's very helpful for a team's success, and Lamar had nothing to do with that. He also finally had weapons. The Ravens drafted Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews was generally healthy this year, Odell Beckham Jr. joined the team. So he had weapons, and in previous years, Jackson has not had this level of talent around him that can kind of work against him, where he almost had too much help. He was set up to succeed, so that therefore makes it easier for him to be valuable. For example, last year's MVP, Patrick Mahomes, his case was helped by the fact that he lost Tyreek Hill, his best receiver, and still performed really well without him. That made him seem more valuable, and it was more impressive. So having less talent around you can actually help your MVP case in kind of a backwards way, and Lamar had a lot of talent around him this year. Lamar is obviously a quarterback, and that is always going to be helpful because quarterback is known to be the most valuable position on the football field by quite a wide margin. There's disputes over exactly how valuable it is, but everyone agrees that quarterback is the most valuable position. So it's called the most valuable player. Quarterbacks are going to win it a lot because they're incredibly valuable. Lamar was 4th in passer rating, 4th in touchdown interception ratio. The Ravens scored the 4th most points in the league. A lot of 4s going on there. I don't know what's up with that. But again, the flip side of being a quarterback is that he didn't lead the league in any quarterback stats other than quarterback rushing, which would be good if he led the league in quarterback rushing and then also with his passing yards led quarterbacks in total yards, rushing and passing combined. But he didn't do that. He was 6th in total yards. So he didn't really lead quarterbacks in any impressive categories. And he just wasn't head and shoulders above the other quarterbacks. And as we said, quarterbacks being valuable, they're all going to be up there. The best quarterbacks are going to be the top MVP candidates. And Lamar wasn't clearly better statistically than other quarterbacks. And sticking with that theme, the last case is that he just had poor competition. And so he was just the best available option. And that's why he should win MVP. This year, Dak Prescott led the league with 36 touchdowns. That was the lowest touchdown leader for a season since Lamar threw 36 also in 2019. Offense was down across the league. Teams scored the least amount of touchdowns per game since 2006. So everyone was performing worse by standards of previous years, and Lamar was just a little bit better than that. But the case for other MVP candidates who were not at quarterback is that they were clearly the best at their position. Christian McCaffrey had over 2,000 all-purpose yards, had 21 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill was on pace for 2,000 receiving yards. If he had performed at that level all year, he probably would have had a much better case against Lamar. On defense, Myles Garrett was the best player on the league's best defense. He had the highest pass rush win rate in PFF's grading history. That's incredibly impressive. He was a game wrecker. So there were these other guys at other positions who were clearly the best at their position this year, and Lamar was good, but again, offense being down, he wasn't incredible this year, and there were other guys at other positions who put up amazing numbers. So my thoughts on it, first of all, thank you for sticking around. If you're still here, you watched all the way through this video to care enough to listen to my thoughts, appreciate you. Thanks for sticking around. I just think Lamar was the last man standing, and that's how we ended up here. Coming into the Ravens-Niners game, Brock Purdy was the MVP candidate. Both teams were the top of their conference. It was a huge matchup, and Purdy came in and he threw 4 interceptions, and that's not a good look in a primetime game. Lamar, on the other hand, went up against the amazing Niners defense, lit them up, led his team to a win, and ever since then, it's been Lamar Jackson MVP. So because of the lack of elite quarterback play this year and it's incredibly difficult for a non-quarterback to win the MVP just because of how valuable the quarterback position is. I know people have issues with that, and you can argue that it shouldn't just be a quarterback award, and that's a very fair argument, but the way things currently are, it's gonna be a quarterback that wins the MVP, barring something insane. So of the quarterbacks, Lamar was the last guy standing, and sometimes it's as simple as that. It can just take one game, swings the narrative, boom, done. And that's really what happened this year. So I think that Lamar is deserving. I'm not saying it in a negative way, but I think we can all agree he wasn't clearly head and shoulders the best MVP candidate we've ever seen. It was kind of a down year, and Lamar just managed to stick around long enough and play well enough this season to be able to get it. And that happens. Some seasons are better than others. It doesn't diminish the fact that he is going to win his second MVP of his career. It's hard enough to get an MVP, so we're not going to discredit and compare MVP to MVP. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and feel free to go check out some of our other videos. We've got a bunch of them on the channel, and comment if you think Lamar Jackson should win the MVP or not.